give you a little bit of background on these plots, and before I start, I do want to talk about at least mention who the sponsors are. This is a very labor-intensive project, and as a result, we have to hire people to do a lot of this work. We're up here at least a couple of times a week managing these plots, so it really is labor-intensive. We could not have done this without some financial support. To get these plots started, there's a federal program called the Ogallala Initiative that was very instrumental in helping us get this stuff started and going. Since that time, a state initiative called the Cropping Systems Initiative has helped us fund this particular project. So that's been very valuable to us in doing this research. We initially started this project in '06. And one reason we started this, we were getting calls from people asking about grass production. Could we grow grass under irrigation at a profit? At that time, back in '04, '05, corn prices were not good. People were looking for alternatives, and this being cattle country, certainly putting in grass under irrigation, especially limited irrigation, was something people were looking at and considering. And so I'm a row crop agronomist, not a grass person, so I asked people who were experts. Larry Redmond, where's Larry at? He's our state forage specialist. Got some advice from him. He's been instrumental in getting this project also going. Dr. Darius Malinowski, where's Darius at? Back here. Both these guys are going to speak to us in a little bit. Darius is also a forage expert. He's at the Vernon Station doing lots of good research on cool season grasses. Not warm season, but cool season grasses, and I'm sure some of you will have some questions about that. And so Darius is going to talk to you about that here in a little bit. But we tried to establish these grasses in '06. If y'all remember '06, very hot May. Could not keep enough water on this grass to get it going because we were having to divert water to corn and other projects. Just didn't get it established the way we wanted to. So we came back in '07 and kind of started over to establish these grasses. Now, when we planted this grass in '06, we used an old drill to plant the grass with. Planted a little bit too late. Again, I'm not a grass person, so I'm learning a lot as we go on this. That drill was leaking a little bit of seed, and so as a result of that, we ended up with some contamination. And you'll see that as you look at some of these plots. You may look at the buffalo grass and see a little Bermuda in it or whatever. And so we got a little bit of that. We've been trying to control that just by spot treating. So you'll see some holes every once in a while in some of this grass. That's where we're spot treated, trying to keep out the other grasses to try to keep the stand as pure as we can. The way these plots are set up, we've got the fully irrigated plots here to my left or to the west. In the middle is the limited irrigated, and then the dry land is to the east, the dry land strip. The way this is irrigated, we have a weather station that's located just to the other side of the buildings over there on a grassy site. That's part of the ET network, or the PET network, that's been very valuable to us. What that does, that weather station allows us to predict or estimate water use of the different crops that we grow, and also the grasses. In fact, fescue grass is the grass we use kind of as the standard there to determine how everything else is watered. Well, in that network, we also predict Bermuda grass water use, okay, based off some data. And so the fully irrigated plots here are watered to replace the water that was used the previous week. So what we'll do, we'll look at that ET data, add that up for the previous week, and say it needs 1.5 inches. That's what it used that previous week. That's how much the fully irrigated will get. The limited gets half of that amount. And then, of course, the dry land won't get anything, is the way it's done. And Emily, a graduate student who's involved in this project, will talk about some of those results and how much water we're actually putting on here in a few minutes. We've been able to collect data now. We established the plots in '07, didn't collect any data in '07, started collecting data in '08. And so one of your handouts is the results of the '08. And that's not all the results that we have. We have some more nutrient data and some more yield data from that particular year. And then the 09 data that you've got, all we've got so far on that is yield. We haven't got any nutrient analysis on that. Here, wheat streak mosaic is a major problem in wheat. Well, we've known for some time, at least we've thought, and we do know to some extent, that some of these grasses that are planted in the bar ditches and pastures and CRP can host the wheat curl mite, which in turn transmits the wheat streak mosaic into our wheat field. So another little side project we're doing here is we're looking at these grasses and seeing how well they will host the curl mite as well as the wheat streak mosaic. And I think that's going to be very valuable information just in our management of the wheat. So that's another little side thing we're doing with these particular plies.